It is now officially 2025, which is why I want to fly around my 2,300 day Minecraft hardcore world in order to look back at 2024, as well as to write down some brand new ideas that I want to complete within this year. One of the first things I did at the beginning of 2024 was create this custom terraformed cliff, which I actually recently finished just as I was casually playing Minecraft. I've added in things like grass, mossy cobblestone, andesite tuff, and even some newer blocks, such as pale moss, as it adds a really nice variant towards the otherwise just sort of plain stone textures. I also created this whole area, but we'll look at that later on. Because something else I think I did at the beginning of 2024, this was sort of an end of 2023 project, moving on to the new year, but I planted 2,000 beetroot. I actually do want to come back here at some point and sort of finish off this area, so we can actually write that down in the 2025 projects book. So we can do finish/improve beetroot village. I also began the year by reaching 5,000 subscribers and 1,500 days within this hardcore world, now being on 2,349. And speaking of subscribers, right now I am very close to 10,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe. After this, I actually had a sort of restart in this world where I went to a brand new area just to sort of restart for a bit, although that lasted one video, and then I decided to head back to my base as I thought of a new project, which was building this giant dirt factory over here. And if we take a look at my industrial district, honestly, I like some of these buildings. I think these two are really good. Those two are really good. I just don't like this middle one. So I think the next project I want to add to my list is just to improve industrial district. And part of that will be changing to change factory and to add more detail into the area. And to be honest, I should probably interior decorate the dirt factory at some point. Right now, it's got 4 double chests. I'll just fill up with dirt blocks, as I did mine over 11,000 dirt blocks in one video. So in this book, I can add interior, decorate, dirt factory. There we go. Now inside my world, if we head up this way, we'll actually head up to my llama village, which was another project I did this year. I bred a load of llamas in order to get the rarest llama over here, who I believe is right here. Yep, here we go. Here's Harrydallama, who's got all the maxed out chest spots. However, if we use a Zera's map mod, which gives a really good overview of my hardcore world, you'll notice that the path doesn't connect up to the industrial district yet. At all, in fact. Like, no part of this hardcore world. Everywhere else is pretty much connected, just not to the industrial district or to the castle, but we'll touch on that later. So I think the next project I want to add to this list is do a path towards industrial district. Over at this part of the hardcore world, right next to the llama village, there's actually a couple houses I've been working on. This one just with plain white terracotta, as this was built before cherry wood was added. Then this one with cherry wood, as it was built more recently when cherry wood was part of Minecraft. So I actually do want to finish this area off by doing finish cherry houses. Very simple. I can literally do this now, but I can't be bothered. I just need to gather all the resources, but that can be ticked off pretty easily. One of the best parts about this list I'm making is it gives me loads of new video ideas. For example, I can make a whole video building a beetroot village or redesigning my industrial district. Whereas this cherry house one, to be honest, this could be a YouTube short or something. It won't take too long. In fact, I actually built this one more recently, which will be in an upcoming video, which I've actually got 3 upcoming hardcore videos. This is going to seem pretty desynced now, but this video is releasing on January the 1st. I've also recorded 3 other hardcore videos, one playing Minecraft for an entire month, one's surviving to 500 hours within this world, and one's building a village, which we'll touch on again in a bit. But those videos are going to take a lot longer to edit than this one, so they'll be out at some point in January, I hope. So stay tuned, because I did some pretty interesting projects within that video. As I was saying, man, I sort of realized this area here is just really boring. It's just not enough trees, it's just a random bit of plain. So I think just tidy up random gaps. So more trees, fields, and foliage. I have actually been doing that recently. For example, there are a few custom trees over there, but I think this area definitely needs some more trees and just some more flowers and things, especially as it is right next to my original custom forest. If I fly over to this direction, there's 2 houses here, which sort of look a bit different to the rest of the builds around here. And both of these houses actually home all of the dog variants within Minecraft. So I think I want to work on this area a bit more, maybe adding a couple more houses and extending the path off that way for another village I want to do over there. So in the book, I can do expand dog village and then add paths to flower forest area, which is this area around here, which I want to add probably a village to be honest. I'm not too sure. This right here is actually my original lava pool where I got my first obsidian for my enchantment table over there from, which is why I've added campfires, so to show it's more of a volcanic pool. So I might build a village around here at some point, and I could also terraform around the river, as areas like this are really plain right now compared to other parts which have full decoration. I could also variate the height of a sugarcane. Variate sugarcane height around base. As to be honest, with it all being free high, it just doesn't look as good as it could. Hey, that rhymed. One of the oldest builds within my Minecraft hardcore world is this llama head right here. This was built out of almost every block in the game. I definitely was missing some, like, for example, there's no coral blocks and things on it. But to be honest, if we look around my hardcore world, there's just trees, and there's like medieval builds. This is not like medieval or in that sort of style at all. So I think the next thing I want to do, finally, is remove every block llama head, as I could definitely use this area for something a bit better than just a random colourful llama head. Another big project I want to undertake within this hardcore world this upcoming year is to build a big wall here in order to connect the castle area up to the farming village area. Sort of my plan with this is to fill this whole area in, just terraform all of it, so then I can create a giant city here. So we can write those couple of ideas down in the book quickly. So it's connect castle land to farming village area, and also create a city. I've actually had this plan in mind for ages now. I wanted to terraform this village, or retransform it rather, and build a giant sort of more industrial town around this area. I just never got round to it, but I think this year I could definitely undertake that project. Now for some smaller project ideas I've had. For example, I want to create a mining town. I want a proper way to collect resources such as deep state and tough within this world without having to go strip mining or something. Maybe like sort of build a big quarry or something. So I guess I can add that to that. Some sort of quarry. Another project I want to do within this hardcore world in the next year is to connect up different builds to my main area. For example, I want to continue a path all the way down this river, over this bit of water here, to this little coastal village, which I also want to expand, then all the way to my flower forest village over here. So there are the 3 ideas in the book. Connect path to coastal village, expand coastal village, and connect path to flower forest village. There are a few side projects I'd like to get done in this hardcore world within the next year as well. For example, I want to collect a blue axolotl, I want to collect a brown panda, and I also want to collect the best horse, donkey, and mule. As I've already collected the best llama, so I want to collect those mobs as well. And I guess as I'll be doing that, I want to create a horse village for breeding horses. And then I also want to add a giant field for horses as well. Once again, using Zero's map mod, I think an area around here would be good. Maybe in this area or this area. One thing you may have noticed about my hardcore world is the fact that this village area here is actually on an island. So what I want to do is transform the rest of this island. That involves creating another custom forest and just expanding the village out. So in the book, I can write expand village island. So that involves more fields, houses, and custom forest. There we go though, we've already got 5 pages written down of ideas for this hardcore world. But I'm definitely not done yet. As in my Minecraft hardcore world, I've collected a lot of random items. For example, this is my original set of iron armor. This is my first pair of shears, my first flint and steel, my first enchanted diamond sword, my first trial key, a map of my hardcore world before I even expanded to the next village, a day 100 map of this hardcore world. I've even got something like my first shield here, I've got my first pickaxe and axe somewhere. I've got loads of my original items within this hardcore world. So one build idea I've had, which I think I want to add into that flower forest right over there, is to build a giant museum. So I want to build a museum, if I can know how to spell it, I think that's right. Build a museum for old items. That way I don't actually have to leave them around my house, and it can free up a little bit of space in here, although I don't use this house too often anymore. And it gives them one central place to be collected in. Throughout my hardcore world, you may also notice that I've got loads of these mini blocks. This was actually part of a data pack from Vanilla Tweaks that I used to have on this world. I actually recently got rid of it though because I updated to a newer version, which didn't allow support for these mini blocks anymore. However, I think I want to re-add that. I believe with Vanilla Tweaks now, you can just use a stone cutter, which is a lot easier. And it's a video similar to what I've seen Ors do before, but I want to collect every mini block. That way, I have a collection of every mini block inside of Minecraft just to add extra detail into my world. For example, these ones here I'm a massive fan of. I like just the random melons and like pumpkins and even honeycomb near this old beehive, which I doubt has any bees left inside anymore. As, yeah, seems like this island's almost completely empty with mobs. I got my cat in there. I believe my chicken friend Pablo's somewhere around here, but other than that, like, this whole survival island area is just, yeah, there's Pablo. This whole hardcore sort of starter island sort of empty now. Another simpler project I want to get done this year is just to create some villager crop farms. That way I can have an automatic source of loads of crops such as potatoes and carrots, so it's much easier to add more fields into this hardcore world. As if we use this map, it's quite obvious to tell I love adding fields. Another project I've actually meant to do for almost 3 years now is to terraform around my castle area, so I can add that to the book as well. As to be honest, it's sitting on a grass block hill just doesn't look very good in my opinion, especially because there's a massive gap here, which I do occasionally use for different farms. I've got like a glow lichen farm here, a crop nano farm here, my snow golem there. Do you even have a name? I don't think he does. He's just a random snow golem, which I used to get a bit of snow once. But I did have the idea for this castle to just add a big wall sort of around it. I don't know, maybe something like that would work. If we now head away from my castle, on my giant snowy mountains behind the world, there's actually a sniffer. This is my original sniffer, Lord Sniffington the First. He's all the way over here now. He used to live in the castle, so he's travelled a long way. So I think it would only make sense to move Lord Sniffington the First to the museum. Once I build it, that is. That way he's not freezing cold at the top of this mountain. I mean, it's not actually at the top yet. He's got quite far to go, but he may get there eventually. Just looking at this goat in the boat, which I'm pretty sure I got the advancement for. I just want to create like a goat area, like some sort of goat village. I think something like that would be cool. Maybe in the snowy mountains. I don't know yet. I think something like that would be quite cool though. But as I am writing down a load of different ideas for this hardcore world, if you have any ideas of your own that you think would be a good fit within my Minecraft hardcore world, let me know down in the comments and I'll definitely pick some to do. Something else I've just actually noticed is this is my original spawn village and it's always kept the same. Like, it's just missing bits of wool, like all the crops are trampled. In fact, there are no villagers left or anything now. So what I want to do is redesign spawn village. As just taking a look at it, it could definitely do with some work. And to be honest, it's going to be quite an interesting project to tackle, as I'm not sure I've ever built sort of on a mountain face before. Something else I'd like to get done is building something around the iron farm. As I've had this iron golem farm for years now, and it just doesn't look very nice to look at. Like, I'd much rather sort of a custom mountain around it or something. I don't know. Also, if we look into this hole here, this is actually my original chest with all my starter things, such as my wooden axe and pickaxe, my stone axe, some original just saplings I picked up, even some leather trousers for some reason. Honestly, some things in my Minecraft hardcore world just have to change. These auto smelters have been here for such a long time. I was always saving them up because I know they have a lot of XP inside them. But to be honest, they're just sat here and they're just going to look ugly. And the longer I leave them, the less likely I am to remove them in the future. So what I want to do is just mine away, starting with the hoppers and the chests. Because I've got an auto smelter anyway. Down there in my industrial district, there's a much bigger one. I use it much more often. So we can just get rid of all of this. It does have a fair amount of items still left in it, to be honest. Lots of mutton and brick for some reason. But also, we're going to gain a lot of XP from this, so I'm quite interested to see how many levels I gain. I'm on 150 right now, so we may not gain too many. So I guess we'll start with this one. Yeah, that's a decent amount of XP. Just mine the rest of them. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a lot of XP we're getting. Okay. Also, luckily I carry around a couple of shulker boxes on me, so I can just break these chests and chuck loads of items back in them. Is that all of the XP? So we gained 1 level. Oh, no. We're gaining more. Oh, we literally gained 1 level. That's kind of a shame, because I've been waiting for the day to break this for such a long time, and to gain 1 level is a bit disappointing. To be fair, I'm on 151 levels now. I can't really complain. And for now, I can just dump all of these items in this random chest here. Maybe that could be another project I add to the list, which is obviously to sort out storage system. One other thing I need to do is to sleep, so that I wake up on day 2351. Also, as this is the first video of the year, I want to make some predictions. I want to know how many days I'll be on by the end of the year. So if I went from 1,500 days to 2,300 days within a year, I reckon in this next year, I could be on 3,500 days. I have faith in myself that I'll be playing this world a lot. So I guess I can write that down in the list. Reach day 3,500. Let's just hope I don't die. As for anyone new here, this is a totemless hardcore world, which I've survived over 2 years in. There's also another sniffer down there for some reason. As I mentioned earlier on in the video, I've got 3 videos already planned and sort of recorded. This is the 3rd one of them. This is a giant fishing village that I built over December as I took on the challenge of catching 5 fish for every brand new subscriber. And I gained like almost 1,000 subscribers in a month, so I've got a lot of fishing to do. So I guess I can add that to the list. Go fishing. A lot. And to be honest, throughout January, if I have time, I might do some live streams of just fishing from this area, because I'm going to have to catch over 5,000 fish. And it's going to get a bit boring. But to be honest, I think that's all of the project. Why is my hardcore world now lagging? That's really bad. Okay. Okay, all the terrain has loaded in. I'll just stand on the ground. But so far, they're all the project ideas that I can come up with. If you have any more, let me know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe, as I reckon 2025 will be the best year on my channel so far.